streaming. Yeah. Okay, now I see it going. And I'll start recording locally as well.
So I'm gonna have to do this now on my own today to see if my stuff works with the XSplit.
Fun with XSplit. Now if I send out the tweet. So
You sent out a tweet?
I sent out a tweet.
What's it say?
So we're still streaming to YouTube, but we're also streaming to Twitch and YouTube. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh, Saturday Morning Cartoons is now on Twitch. Hold on. Come in! What's up?
I like grass home.
Okay. Test. FAP tests. What are you doing? Recording something. You all right? Yeah, so we're testing out some equipment.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing? You need something to drink? No, you don't need coffee? Did you have coffee already?
And a Coke.
Okay. All right. John, you okay for a minute? Okay.
Yep.
Don't choke.
I'll try not. I have this nasty cough going.
I know.
Going.
I know.
I'll break it. Okay. Yeah, and this handle. Right? So apparently I can't push the
I know.
I'll break it. Yeah, and this handle.
How do I?
Right? So apparently I can't push the
I know.
Okay, so we're testing some new software. So sorry about the sound. Okay, there we go. We will start momentarily for all your Geekodrome needs. It's Saturday morning, so we'll be talking some cartoonage. We're just hanging out. We're podcasting. We're doing our thing. If you don't subscribe, we're on iTunes. So subscribe there so you can get it directly to your phone at any given time. Otherwise, there's Google Play, Stitcher, really any place you find podcasts. We're there. So stick around. We'll be with you momentarily. In 3, 2.
I can't hear you.
You can't. Are you fucking with me, or you really can't hear me?
I can't hear you because you weren't talking.
I fucking hate you. Alright. For those of us joining us on Twitch for the first time, this is the type of humor you can look forward to. Aren't you glad?
Humor! There's humor?
With a U. Humour.
Wow.
And we will get our music going in the near future. To hear that, tune in, subscribe on iTunes. Alright. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Geekodrome. Geekodrome is the weekly roundtable discussion of all things geek. I am John, and I am joined for the first time on the Twitch stream, Jon Stugots. Oh, I also have to remember to transition, so you can now see us. Yay!
Ah, transitions!
Transitions, yes. So we are trying out new software so that we can stream to YouTube and Twitch today. But it means I'm still learning the software and forgetting to hit things like the buttons.
Well, it's a test show.
Well, it's still going to be in the regular stream, so yay. But yes, you can now...
It's something that we could look back in a few months and be like, whoa. We didn't know what we were doing.
2 years on, we have no idea what we're doing.
Yeah, nothing will change.
Tune in weekly to see us figure out that we still don't know what we're doing. But we are, for those of us tuning in for the first time, because you're just seeing us on Twitch, we are 95 episodes in on our weekly podcast talking about geek, pop culture, general nerditry, and all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
And as an example, we're still catching up on stuff we did over the holidays, because we did a lot and we took a little time off. But one of the things we did was we watched The Death of Superman. Dun, dun, dun. Because you had said you watched it, and then I said, hey, I'll watch it. And then we just didn't get to talk about it because it was just, stuff going on.
And I'm following along. I'm just trying to make sure that everything's working right. So I'm looking on YouTube right now. Hold on, let me just mute it. Okay. So, last week we talked about Into the Spider-Verse, and I had said about how these animated movies are just getting better and better, and Death of Superman definitely proves that as well.
You know what? I think they're in completely different leagues. I know a theatrical animated film will have a much higher budget.
Yeah.
But I feel like Spider-Verse just had so much more going for it. Just animation-wise, story-wise, just overall, it was just a much better experience to me.
Wow, John, starting off hot.
I know, I'm with those hot takes. So, what did you love about Death of Superman?
First of all, the acting. At one point, I actually thought that Kevin Spacey was voicing Lex Luthor because it sounded so much like him. But then you told me that it was Rainn Wilson, and I was still impressed because he's someone who I am not really a fan of, and I thought he did a superb job with that character. So much so that I don't know how he would do with a live action version, and I'd be curious to see how he would do.
Yeah, I thought his voice was great. I didn't recognize him until I saw the credits. It was just sort of like not what you expect from him. I don't know. Does he have the right look to do a live action Lex Luthor, though?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, did the other dude who did it in Batman versus Superman?
We had to go there, huh?
You know what I mean? If that guy can get cast, why not? Why can't we experiment with with someone who can definitely get into the character?
I'll give you that. Yeah, Batman v Superman. That was kind of.
John, how does someone find us on Twitch?
They can subscribe to us, or they can go to twitch.tv/Geekodrome.
All right. I just asked so that I know.
Oh, who's asking?
Nobody. I need to know.
Oh.
So check us out as we're doing the show.
Well, you can always click the link on our Twitter feed.
Well, I can't do that because I'm trying to just like go to it, like someone just could stumble across us.
Yes. Well, again, subscribe on Twitch and you get notifications when we go live.
Hold on a second. What? Yeah. Just
we don't need to hear. He's having a little work done at his place, so get the workman going.
Sorry.
It's okay. I just muted you out because you're having work done at Casa de Stugots.
Yeah, we're doing a little bit of work. Just nothing major. Not yet, anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I definitely could see them going in a different direction with Luthor. Rainn Wilson would definitely be different than what they've done before, but he could probably pull it off. It can't be any worse than Batman v Superman.
No.
But in general, not much can be worse.
All right, so I think that like when we do this, I'm going to set my tablet up on the tripod right above my laptop. Okay. This way, it's more like a because right now, like to see anything, I have to look away, and I'm noticing how it doesn't look right.
Yeah. And, so yes, okay. Yeah. Personally, I have the us in front of me, but then when we have things like people jumping in the chat, feel free to chat us during this. That's when I'm looking away.
And it's like I want to be able to just like go between tabs.
Yeah. Well, my problem is I have a laptop and monitors, so I don't have that opportunity.
Yeah. So this way, but if I set it up above it, it's at the very least like visually, it looks like I'm still looking at you, even though I'll be looking. I won't be, as opposed to now I'm turning, and I don't like it.
And I could never take my eyes off you, Stugots.
No, I'm hashtag handsome.
It's true. Just Google search hashtag handsome. You'll find him.
Yes.
So the animation on Into the Spider-Verse, though, was so much more dynamic to me. And I think that's the...
I'm not saying... I just mean these movies, they're getting better. They're not like what we grew up on. Oh. They're not like that 1969 Spider-Man. They're not like Spider-Man and his amazing friends. And those are all good. I'm not disparaging them. I'm looking at the quality of work going into these things.
Well,
is just what is so amazing to me.
Do you remember Crash Cargo?
No.
It was... Well, I mean, there were other ones, too. Like, there were some Marvel cartoons where it was just static images, and all they did was kind of superimpose, like, somebody's mouth over the picture.
Oh, when was that?
Late 70s, I want to say.
Oh, wow. And it wasn't done ironically? It was done, like, to be... to be silly?
Because it was to do it on the cheap. Oh, it was earlier than that. It was it was like early 1960s, 1959 to 1960.
I had no idea.
Yeah. So then superimpose somebody's mouth, and it was just awful. There were Marvel cartoons that did the same thing, and they were just unwatchable. Because, I don't know. I mean, I wasn't born yet at that point, but I watched them in reruns.
That seems like something would be done today as a goof, You mean to be visually, funny, as well as, like C-Lab 2020, type stuff.
Yeah, but even that was just revoiced and re-edited to be...
That's what I mean, like, to be, it was re-edited to revoiced to be funny, where it's like, I think that's why that would be, how that would be done today.
Yeah, I mean, there are cartoons who've made fun of it since then, but it's sort of a forgotten thing.
I've Googled Crash Cargo and I see about crashes. Like cargo planes and shit.
It's Clutch Cargo. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I Googled Crash Cargo cartoon and it brought it up. It's Clutch Cargo.
Clutch Cargo.
Again, it's something I haven't thought about in like a long time, so getting the name wrong is what it is.
I'm just looking at the pictures. It's not hilarious.
Yeah, and it doesn't get any better watching them animated.
Oh my goodness. No, it's pretty funny stuff.
Oh, it's awful.
Mike Pence, Clutch Cargo. That's one of the things that come up.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry.
It's okay. Again, it doesn't get any better.
Oh my god, it's fun. See, I can see this being on Adult Swim right now, and people like loving it. You know,
Well, that's because everybody who watches Adult Swim is stoned anyway.
right? So it's perfect. That's exactly how this would be, and it would be perfect for that crowd.
All right, that's it. We're gonna pitch it to Adult Swim. It's the Clutch Cargo reboot, but we're gonna call it something else, so we don't have to use their names or likenesses or anything.
Right.
And we'll be millionaires. Millionaires.
John's fighting a nasty cough.
I'm fighting a cold, and that's just a cough.
Did you take any Mucinex?
I have not.
Today, have you gone to the doctor?
I haven't. I mean, it just hit.
Teflon pearls.
Have I what?
Do you have Teflon pearls?
What are Teflon pearls?
That's a medication that will help with the cough.
All right. I've been taking chloroseptic, and that's been fine for me for the cough.
Obviously.
Well, I didn't take.
Obviously, it's working.
I didn't take a cough drop this morning, unfortunately.
Oh.
I was kind of waking up and getting everything together for this, and I forgot to. I did take Dayquil, but so the sneezing and everything is gone, but I forgot to take something for the cough. It's all right. Next week it'll just be even better because I won't be coughing and sniffling and sneezing and.
Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's this is the time of year people get this cold and flu season. It's fine.
Yeah. How dare people get sick at this time of year?
Yeah.
So I will say that the death of Superman.
I can't wait to see the death of Spider-Man.
That too. It does have a killer cast to it. You know, Jerry O'Connell is Superman, Rebecca Romijn, Lois Lane, Rainn Wilson, Lex Luthor, Rosario Dawson.
Are they still a couple?
I don't know. I really don't pay attention, and they're not really like an in the media kind of couple. Not that they're A-list or anything.
Yeah, but that's a pretty good get for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, he was in Stand By Me. So.
Yeah, he was a chubby kid. Then My Secret Identity.
Yeah. Sliders
was his big one.
Yeah, and then he's done little things like this since then. So, but yeah.
Like what? Like this show?
Oh, this cartoon, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant us.
Well, if we can get him on.
I thought we were getting a first guest.
That would be nice. Although, here's an interesting piece. Do you know who played Cyborg in this cartoon?
No, who?
Shamar Moore.
And Shamar Moore is?
Well, you may know him from such films as Dope, the Netflix series The Get Down.
And, yes.
And a little cartoon called Spider-Man. Because he was Miles Morales.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
He was in Jurassic World.
Was he in Jurassic World?
I believe it's the same person I'm thinking of.
Not according to his IMDb.
So it's different from that show then.
And actually, I'm confusing it. It's not this. I'm misreading it. It's not Spider-Verse guy. I stand corrected. It's Shamik Moore.
I have to talk to the audience now. See? Look at me.
Yeah, their names all look alike.
John, you can't say that!
I know, but it's just they have very similar names, and I got confused by it.
That is racist!
I know.
Jeez Louise!
Yeah, I know. But I had to make that bad joke.
You can't say they all look alike.
I didn't.
The names.
Shamik Moore and Shamar Moore were very similar names, and it confused me.
All right, so now tell me who this young man is that who did Cyborg's voice.
Shamar Moore was on SWAT, Criminal Minds. He's done a couple of these Justice League cartoons.
So I don't know him by name. I definitely know his face now that you said he's in SWAT because he's on like the promotional art for SWAT. He must be the lead.
I have no idea what SWAT is, so I don't know.
SWAT is a reboot of the old SWAT series from the 70s.
Yes, he plays Daniel Hondo Harrelson.
Yeah, that's the main character.
Okay.
If you ever saw the movie SWAT, Hondo was Samuel L. Jackson's character.
Haven't seen that.
If you watch the old SWAT series, again, Hondo was the main guy.
Well, he was also, strangely enough, on the Birds of Prey TV series in 2002.
Yeah.
And as much as that sucked, and is now on the DC Universe app, if you really want to torture yourself, it's a nice little DC connection there.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
But yeah, I remember watching that when it first aired. It was pretty bad. But it's on the DC Universe app if you want to torture yourself. So
I would pass.
Yeah, I will say that I didn't entirely love a lot of the designs in Death of Superman.
Yeah.
Some of them I just don't like the art style of certain characters. Like, they're very angular, and I just don't get behind that. And the costumes are based on the New 52 costumes, which I don't love all of those either.
You'd rather see like the Adam West Batman.
Not necessarily Adam West Batman.
You want it more Super Friends looking.
Well, no, it's more like I hate the New 52 Superman.
Yeah.
It's just that straight all blue look. The Batman one isn't so bad. It's the dark gray with the black, and it's hard to see the Batman logo. Things like that. It's the art styles that bother me mostly. Even Doomsday, it just seems a little too angular. It just doesn't kind of work.
The only thing I can say I didn't like about it was that it seemed rushed. It was like Doomsday lands, and the whole Justice League goes and attacks him, minus Superman, and they all get their ass handed to them. Like, it was like 10 minutes, and then I felt like it could have been another 30 minutes.
Yeah, that was the other thing that bothered me. So the fact that Superman dies in issue 75 of the comic, which meant they had 6 years of build-up. So that means that the guy who becomes Cyborg Superman, Hank Henshaw, there's an entire issue where he and his fellow astronauts become the Fantastic Four. John Byrne writes, a Fantastic Four analog where they kind of semi-become evil, but it's just because, they're tortured because they got hit by cosmic rays.
Right.
And there's a bunch of other stories in there like that. So the 6 years of build-up and stories that are incorporated into the build-up and death of Superman are literally rushed, some of them into like one scene at best.
Well, do you think maybe it was a tease to lead to other movies?
Well, we know that Reign of Superman is coming out in a couple weeks.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so there's a thing either this week or next week where you could see Death and Reign back to back in a movie theater.
Oh, I had no clue.
Yeah. So, like, things like that. So we know that plus in the closing credits, we see each of this 4 Supermans teased.
Right.
So we see, like, Superboy kind of breaks out of the tube that he's in the middle of the movie when they show him. We see Henshaw kind of coming back as, I believe we don't know he's Cyborg yet, but just coming back as Superman. We see the Eradicator, which again was a multi-issue story, which is kind of just shoved in there.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Steel kind of building his armor. So we know that the 4 of them are coming back for Reign of the Supermen.
Right, I just didn't know when that was happening.
Yeah, I think it's the 19th. I haven't double-checked. But yeah, it's in the next couple weeks. So it's all of these things are they feel rushed and just shoved in there because they were in there for the version that we saw, in the comics. And then, again, the Death of Superman, Doomsday, I don't remember how many issues it was, but it was literally, I want to say, like, at least 6 to 8 issues of him lands on the planet, 1 page in 1 comic. Starts to move, 1 page in 1 comic. and then it slowly built up. So we're at 6 months to a year of uh, Doomsday just kind of landing on Earth and then just
Right, but
going through.
is that more like, hey, they just have that span to tell the story in?
Well, it's the way they designed the story.
Right.
Like, if they wanted to, they could have done a one-issue story. But if you're doing Death of Superman, you build up to it and you make it big. And you make the villain build the villain. And so they're literally spending all this time showing that he can't be stopped. So he lands, he's trashing one city, then another, and then the Justice League slowly come in and they get trashed. So that the only one who can stop him is Superman. Meanwhile, they're just making him more powerful as he's breaking out of that green suit. Until ultimately Superman comes up and they go punch for punch and take each other down. And again, you just don't get that kind of build-up with an hour and a half.
Right.
You're trying to shove in all this other story. And I think that was also really problematic for me. Overall, I mean, I liked it, but I just felt like you said, another half hour would have made more story for it. Yeah. But
Hey.
I don't know, do people really want to sit through a 2-hour cartoon as opposed to an hour and a half one?
Yeah, but most of those are viewed at home. So what's the difference if it's 2 hours?
Yeah, that's true. You can break it into pieces, watch it in multiple parts. Yeah. So, overall, I'd say we both liked it. And we're both going to watch Reign of the Supermen when that comes out.
Definitely.
But I don't know. It's not like I didn't have the love that I had for Spider-Verse, where I felt like I want to watch this again right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, walking out of Into the Spider-Verse, I wanted to go back inside and watch it again.
Yeah, but I think that's what happens when you have a bigger budget and you're not stuck to the source material as they were.
I mean, the bigger budget, but you also have that other side of it of, hey, this is going to be a theatrical release, where the DC stuff is pretty much DVD release.
Oh yeah, no, this was written straight to DVD. I also think that the second half will have more room to breathe because they didn't have to do any setups.
Yeah.
That like the first cartoon needed, which is for better or for worse on this. But what are you gonna do?
Okay, you could cough.
Yeah, I know. Well, sometimes I can reach the switch in time. Sometimes I can't.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
Hopefully the cold will be better next week, and I won't be coughing, and it'll be a much better experience for us all.
That's fine.
So yeah, so yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. I kind of enjoy the DC movies. The ones that aren't so stuck to source material are the better movies.
Definitely.
But really, like this movie shined when they were doing the action scenes.
Yeah.
Like you could tell they were saving budget. Like, guy walks into a room, and everything's very static. But even like, there's no people walking in the backgrounds a lot of times. It's literally guy walks into a lab, and there's one other guy in the lab, and he's not moving while they walk in. During the action scenes, like they look great, but there are no people like running in the background trying to get away. And that shows when they're not spending the budget to animate background.
What's odd is that any other, like all the stuff that you're mentioning, I know has happened in other DC animated movies.
Yeah, but
like what's the one where he takes on the team of supervillains like that get all the publicity, but they're like more like vigilantes. I'll look it up right now.
Oh, it's the one with the ones from shoot. It's based on the Grant Morrison book.
Yeah.
Which was
The Elite.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm thinking of the other one. Yeah, that's the Joe Kelly story. So the Elite was a one-issue, one-off story, which meant they had a lot more room to work with because they had to expand the story to an hour and a half instead of pushing 12 issues in. I was thinking of a different one. Which was the one I was thinking of? It'll come to me. But it was like the evil Justice League come to Earth. And it's based on the Grant Morrison story. But they did, the Elite, which was also really good.
But all that, like that one in particular, that's because I just remember the crowds in the, around that, especially that final battle.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of that is based on the crowds need to be there because it's all about the popularity of...
Right. So it's like, I do remember that distinctly, and it played such a big part into the story.
Yeah. Yeah, but, overall I like their cartoons. And in fact, my hot pick this week is going to be a DC cartoon when we get to that.
So is mine!
Uh-oh. You better not be stealing mine, because... I gave you a sneak preview of what it was, you bastard.
It's your first time listening to the show. I do that. I do try to steal John's thunder on his hot picks, just to be a ball breaker.
Yeah, that's part of the humor. We try to fuck with each other as much as possible.
Yes.
It's
did you know that we're not actually streaming on Facebook?
We are not on Facebook. We are not streaming on Facebook.
Okay.
I will go into that in private why, but we
Good morning, Frankie Frank.
we did post if you like us on Facebook, Geekodrome Podcast. The Twitch link was posted. We are not streaming to Facebook at the moment.
Okay,
but we'll look to do that in the near future.
Frankie Frank watching us on the Twitch.
Where's See, I had a thing that was supposed to watch the chat. It didn't. Shit happens. Okay. We'll be working on our tech.
Well, it is a test show still. So
yeah.
I know it's a regular show for us, but at the same time, we're testing out stuff. So
interesting. It did not. Okay, so I have the software we're using that splits us to YouTube and Twitch is supposed to give us the chats. It did not put the chat in, so I did not see Spanky's.
It's okay.
But we'll keep that in mind for the future. We're working in it. Again, this is our first time with the new software, so we're testing everything out live and in living color, baby. All right. So so Death of Superman was awesome. It was good. Not as awesome as Spider-Verse, and we'll be doing Reign in the next few weeks. But there is one piece of news that we did get this week. Came out yesterday. I don't know if you saw it. But a movie that we love is getting a sequel.
Oh, what movie?
Coming to America.
Oh.
So it broke on, I want to either Hollywood Reporter or Variety or one of those. I unfortunately didn't mark the article. But we are looking to, I think it was Hollywood Reporter. We're going to see a sequel. Allegedly, the story is that Prince Hakeem comes back to America to find his long-lost son.
How could he have a long-lost son?
Yeah, that's just it. Like, he wasn't with anybody in America except for, I'm going to blank on her name now, but like, he doesn't have sex with anyone in America, so why would he have a son here? I mean, that's
a shitty premise. That takes away from the character to me.
Again, yeah, like part of it is he's moral and looking to become, next generation kind of thing, and why would he didn't like have random sex with people, but
that was the whole point. His dad said go out and sow your oats, and he didn't want to be bothered with that. He wanted to find a woman that would fall in love with him for who he was, and not because he was a prince. That this takes away from the core value of the character.
Exactly. And even when, he's got the arranged bride, it's just like, he's just like, hop on one leg. Yeah, no, this isn't going to work. And nothing happens. And I don't know, I just don't feel like the movie needs a sequel.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, I hope Arsenio's coming back as well.
I'm sure he is. He's not doing anything.
They did get the original writers back, and The director is somebody who has not done comedy before.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I have to. Here we go. Here's the Deadline article. Craig Brewer is the director.
I love his stand-up. I loved when he was on Saturday Night Live and the Goat Boy. Oh, it was awesome. The Joe Pesci show. Oh, it was so good.
Craig Brewer, who, what does it say? Kanye Barris is rewriting the script from the original writers Barry Blaustein and David Sheffield. Brewer just finished doing Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, Dolomite was a rapper in the 70s.
Wasn't it a blaxploitation film in the 70s?
Yeah, it was too, yeah.
I don't remember the rapper, but... So... So here's something I had... Oh, sorry, that's... never mind. My eyes caught that the picture being released by Netflix, but they meant Dolomite. I don't know. I want the movie to be great, but on the other hand, I just don't want them to make it. I think most of Eddie Murphy's movies don't have sequels, and they're better for it.
Yeah.
Sure, we have Beverly Hills Cop, where there's 3 of them.
And Beverly Hills Cop 2 was really cool, but you see, Beverly Hills Cop 3 was... I think that one was direct-to-DVD release.
No, that one was in the theaters.
Oh.
Because I remember seeing it in the theater.
Terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the one where he goes to the amusement park and sees George Lucas.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I don't know if I want to see it. I mean, I will if they make it.
I mean, yeah. I don't. What was the other? I don't want to see Best Defense 2.
Which one is Best Defense?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, when he went back to host Saturday Night Live, this was like, at the height of his popularity, he was like, oh yeah, Trading Places comes out, and Beverly Hills Cop comes out, and I'm like, I don't need Saturday Night Live anymore. And then all of a sudden, now again, this is from his monologue. All of a sudden, Best Defense comes out, and I'm like, hello? It's me, Eddie. So, Best Defense was him, Dudley Moore, and I cannot remember the woman in the movie, and it was terrible movie. But everyone's made a terrible movie. It's just, it's not what he was hoping for, like his, out of the box. He wanted to be gangbusters, like Chevy Chase,
Dude, it's Kate Capshaw.
I couldn't remember the name. I couldn't remember who it was.
I don't even know the movie. I had to look it up, but, Indiana Jones there. Well, at least the second one.
Yeah, second one.
No, she was Willie, but still, Black Rain, Space Camp. Who doesn't love Kate Capshaw?
Everybody. But the movie was terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes.
I mean, a great cast. You look at the cast like, oh, this movie has to be awesome.
Because Dudley Moore was also, hugely popular at the time.
Yeah. To get that cast together it was big. It was a big cast. There's no doubt about it. This movie should have been a blockbuster.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Yeah, Eddie Murphy had a lot of great movies.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of shitty ones.
Yeah. Haunted Mansion.
Oh, God. Yeah. Some of them I like, even though they're bad, like not Beverly Hills Cop. Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that was like a good kind of bad.
That's the kind you sit down and watch on cable and enjoy for the ridiculousness that it is.
Yes.
It's not good.
No.
The Golden Child's all right. Not great, but it's all right.
I want the knife.
But then you have 48 Hours, which was fantastic.
And then another 48 hours.
I was just about to say, but then you have another 48 hours, and you go, oh.
He didn't want to be the comedy relief in another 48 hours. Dude, you're a comic.
I know.
You want Nick Nolte, the serious, hard-nosed cop, to be the comedy and to be a buffoon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's around the time he did Boomerang, which was, again, him trying to be the more serious guy, the more leading man.
Yeah, I remember Boomerang, when a player gets played.
Yeah. Harlem Nights was right before Another 48 Hours.
Harlem Nights was enjoyable.
It's enjoyable, but it's another, watch it on cable.
Yeah.
The Distinguished Gentleman.
Oh. I mean, if you don't realize how Washington, D.C. works, watch that. It's the perfect example of gerrymandering and how shit gets done.
Yeah. Not a great movie either, but...
No.
Yeah, he just has this period in the early to mid-90s.
Yeah.
He does...
What's with Steve Lawrence? I mean, with Steve Martin, rather.
Oh, that one's actually good. Bowfinger.
Yes.
Yeah, that one's a few years later.
It's the only one in that group of movies that was really good.
And even that's later. Because that's after he's already started doing the clumps and all that.
Oh,
Dr.
wow.
Dolittle. And the animated voices, where Shrek was 2001, but Mulan was 1998. You know.
Wow.
But yeah, at that point, like, his animated stuff is doing great. His kids' stuff, even. I may not be into his Nutty Professor and Dr. Dolittle. I never actually watched them. But, like, kids loved them at the time.
He made Jerry Lewis a ton of money.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, I mean, he had kids. He wanted to do kid stuff, which is fine.
Yeah.
But his live-action adult stuff at that time, oh, God. I mean, all I need to say is Pluto Nash.
Oh.
I Spy.
I Spy was funny because it was kind of like a comedy version of 48 Hours, where you had Owen Wilson. Is it Owen? Yes, Owen Wilson. Yeah. And him, doing this, and then they have that one scene where he's trying to do a little Cyrano de Bergerac gimmick with Owen Wilson, with the chick.
Famke Janssen.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
She is.
And they're doing the whole sexual healing lyrics, which is the one thing that stands out to me in that movie more than anything else.
Again, I didn't see it. Yeah, I mean, so many of these I didn't see. You know, Norbit, Meet Dave, Imagine That. All right, Tower Heist I like.
Yes, but because it wasn't an Eddie Murphy movie. That was, if I'm not mistaken, it was like an ensemble.
It was, but it was a Ben Stiller comedy. So you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Alan Alda's the straight man as the bad guy. You know, and it's... You could just tell, like, they didn't take themselves too seriously making that movie.
Right.
Like, they knew they were making a comedy heist, and they were just getting into, like, the silliness of it.
It has to be one of the few things that Ben Stiller's done that I enjoyed.
Yeah, he's done quite a few things I've liked over the years.
Oh, terrible. He is he's the perfect example of, I could act. This dude's making movies, making millions of dollars. I could do this. Look what he's doing. I could do what he's doing.
Well, first you have to have parents like him, Stiller and Mira. Then,
yeah. Well, they weren't. They became bigger definitely later in life. When Ben Stiller, he didn't get his MTV shows or Fox show because of who his parents were. At that point in time, his parents, no one knew who his parents were audience-wise.
Audience-wise, they didn't, but
he didn't build a name up off of them for sure.
No, but it got him in the door. Like, it gave him the connection.
I don't think so.
They were huge before we were born.
I know that, and that but his mother's biggest thing was that she was on the Archie Bunker's Place. Mm-hmm. That was like 78 to 82.
Yeah. But again, it's once you're in the business, you know people, you can get the connections, and it helps. That's like saying J.J. Abrams, his uncle was a big Hollywood producer.
Oh, I know
him in the door. Yeah. So again, it's a lot of it is just who you know, networking to get started, and it helps. Again, his parents got big again from Seinfeld.
Right.
But like, it doesn't mean they weren't doing anything off screen. Didn't know all the right people off screen. It's just, what we knew them from. And again, we
Right.
didn't know them till they were on Seinfeld.
I didn't know that they were his parents until Seinfeld. I knew who they were.
Oh, okay.
Like, I had no idea that's who his parents were.
Yeah, it always helps. Would anybody really pay attention to Gwyneth Paltrow if she wasn't like third generation Hollywood royalty?
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot of that. Who else? What's her name? I'm gonna blank on the name I'm trying to think of for
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore, Angelina Jolie. There are others, but it always helps. I was trying to think of Angelina Jolie because I was thinking of Jon Voight, and I couldn't. I was blanking on her last name because of she went by a different one, so you wouldn't know. But again, it helps when Jon Voight is your father.
Yeah.
It opens doors, and then she became a huge star after that. But all right, we could go on talking about like Hollywood and all that and sequels, but we all know that there's hot picks to do.
Oh.
I know. So we like to, highlight something that we wouldn't normally have time to talk about or didn't both see and kind of hit it up that way and call it our hot pick of the week. For those of us who are joining us for the first time on Twitch. So, Stugots, what do you got this week as your hot pick?
One of my favorite YouTube series, which had gone away early in 2018, has returned.
Oh?
The YouTube series Glove and Boots.
Ooh.
It is, if you don't know what it is, it's a very fun series with these puppets, Mario and I'm blanking on the other dude's name now. Farvel. And it went away because of the whole algorithm changes to YouTube and on Facebook. And at one point they were getting millions and millions of views. And all of a sudden they started to see it dropping. And they were trying to figure out why, and they couldn't. So they did what other people did, like myself. Oh, let me make more videos because apparently something's happening that my videos aren't getting out. So, and they document this in one of their videos. And when that was working against them, they stopped making videos altogether to retool what they should be doing. So it's back, and it is, for me, it's just as enjoyable. They definitely are going in a different direction. Before what they were doing more of an adult humor type thing, or tongue-in-cheek adult humor, more like Pee-wee's Playhouse level of adult humor, and it worked for a while. But I think now they're going back to just doing more of a kids series of videos, which they're still enjoyable. They're still fun for me to watch. Maybe because I love the Muppets and whatnot. And this is a puppet-based series, but it's back, and I'm very happy to say that it's back. It sucks that these changes that go on social media with algorithms and whatnot leave content creators to just be like, what the hell do I do? Do I just stop what I'm doing? Because what was working now is working actually against it. Not just like, hey, what was working isn't working. Now that what was working is actually working against me. So I'm actually getting less of an audience that I worked hard to build. And I definitely know what that's like.
Yeah, I think we've all been there. It's tough to do stuff online these days. There's just so much competition. And even like 10 years ago, we were both doing stuff online, and the attention spans were longer.
Right.
That made a big difference. If I build all this Lego stuff, I post it online, and my stuff would go viral for like 2 weeks.
Right.
And now I'm lucky if something goes viral for 2 hours.
Yeah, so it's just like...
Because there's so much more competition and so much shorter like attention spans for all of this stuff. And it's hard. It's definitely hard to get yourself noticed and to keep it, in the public zeitgeist long enough to even do anything. It's very rare that, you are somebody who can really elevate. And while it looks like there's quite a few people doing it, it's really like the same, like 10 people.
Yes.
And it's tough. As much as we all want to do it, and as much as we all enjoy doing it, because it's a labor of love for us. If we didn't enjoy doing it, we wouldn't be here.
And then after a while, people always say, well, you're just doing that, you do these shows because you love it. And you do, but after a while, you're like, you want to see results. It's just like, hey, I love working out, but if I don't see you love running, all right? If you saw that you're running and you're not getting better at running, or getting advancing yourself or seeing benefits in your body, like why would you do it? It's the same thing. We do this show, and Jon has projects that he does. I have projects that I do, and if we don't start, and the whole point of it is you put it out there, and if it's not being enjoyed by other people, then all right, so then why do you do it? There's no always has to be an end goal. When Jon started running, he started doing couch to 5K, and it was like, well, my goal is to do a 5K and build up upon that to do a marathon. Now he's done a couple hundred marathons. So
yeah, I'm the marathon man.
He's a marathon man. I mean, so it's like, and same thing for me. It's like, hey, I started cooking because I love cooking and being entertaining because I love entertaining, and it's like, hey, I used to get 3,000 to 5,000 people watching my videos. Now it's like it's a struggle to get 30 people, and it's just people don't watch, or it's like there's so much other stuff for people to watch, and it's like, hey, you start to retool stuff. Like, hey, let's do this, let's try that. Just to see what's going to stick to the wall, and all those things end up not even mattering because an algorithm dictates who sees your stuff.
Yeah, and the algorithms are always changing, and so
right.
It's hard
you
to
can't figure it out. Once you do figure it out, it's changed.
Yeah, and like for instance, Facebook, they're de-emphasizing pages, so the only way to get seen is to pay to play.
Right,
and it then becomes very expensive for somebody who's grassroots and trying to push. And it's not like you can get sponsors if nobody is watching your stuff. It's sort of cyclical like that.
And I've gone to a few seminars about it, and here are people who start their seminar with, "Hey, I had this awesome PowerPoint that was really going to be helpful to you guys, but I had to scrap it because changes to Facebook, changes to YouTube." And so it's like, if these experts have no idea what to do, how the hell does someone like me or Jon or someone like the producers from the Glove and Boot show, how the hell are they supposed to figure it out? So then it just ends up being like, just do it just for the fuck of it, and that's the end of it.
Fuck yeah.
And I've had people whose job it is to do handle social media for companies tell me the same thing, like, you're absolutely wasting your time because no one's ever going to see it, because it's set up against you. Now, it's like for something to go viral, it has to meet all these criteria, and one of that criteria is usually money.
Yeah. And really, the ones that you see get popular very quickly are people who are famous from something else. Right. They're a sports star, they're a TV star, they're in movies, and it's like, well, it's tough to compete. Like, it's not like somebody at the ground level can do that, because if you see me on TV every week, then you want to hear more from me. And
right.
Even I hate to say it, but I see that friends are more quick to support some guy who's a celebrity than they are their own friends.
The movie Bird Box. Okay, perfect example. People started watching this movie all because they saw other people talking about it. Okay, and people do this stuff gladly, like, oh yeah, we do it. I do it all the time too. Like, hey, check this out. This is something I enjoyed. But those same people, they won't click a link I post for my show and watch it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Well, I post a link on Facebook. I get more comments on what the name of the article is than the actual content of the article.
Yeah.
Every time, because there was something I posted last week, and it was fairly informative, and it wasn't a long article. But people are like, well, what if you can do this? I'm like, did you read the article? Well, what about this? Did you read the article? Because it's literally in the first paragraph. These things you're talking about. And it's just like, people don't want to read the articles. They just want to get that quick hit and keep going.
Yeah.
But alternatively, it's like somebody gave me an article this week that they want me to read. The problem is, it's 10 pages long, and even when I saw other people repost it and it went, this is a 30-minute read. I'm like, all right, I don't have that much time or patience to read that much on my
Right,
laptop
exactly.
screen.
And that's the thing. And people same with entertainment. It has to be something that's really quick. And it's hard to do that with something like the way you're trying to tell a story, you know.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I'll read something that's like a page or two, like that's 5 to 10 minute read. But the other thing is, like, I just don't want to read that much on my laptop.
Yeah.
So, not to say like I don't read comics all the time on my iPad.
Yes.
You know, Marvel Unlimited, great fucking app, which is one of my hot picks really early on, and still is. I still read it every week. All right. Well, we're going to work on that, but we're not going to fix all of the world's YouTube and social media problems today. So, my hot pick this week is a cartoon from DC. We've talked about the DC Universe app in the past, and I signed up for it when it launched, and I still hate the interface, and I still hate trying to navigate through it. But some of the content is pretty good. It's got a lot of the cartoons. Reign of the Supermen is going to be there like day and date that it goes on video, which is great. You know, it's got a lot of the classic movies and cartoons. I don't know how much of them cycle in and out, but it's only a couple months old. But on Friday, they relaunched a cartoon from 9-10 years ago called Young Justice. Which was
unbelievable.
Which was a really good series on Cartoon Network that lasted for 2 seasons. You know, it had writing from Peter David, who's a longtime comic book writer. And the 3rd season launched on the DC Universe app under the name Young Justice Outsiders. It takes place a few years later, where all those sidekicks are more recognized by their, you know, Justice League counterparts. The Justice League even plays a big part in this series, and it's got a very international feel to it. Again, they're using made-up countries because things like the King and Queen of Markovia get killed in like the 1st or 2nd episode, and although it happens off screen, you see their hands and there's blood dripping down.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get the feel that this is going to be a very much more adult version of the cartoon.
Nice.
Yeah, just like Titans was very dark, this is dark, but it keeps that same art style, which is great because it's not. The art doesn't feel dark, even though the storylines are obviously getting there. They're releasing 3 episodes a week, which is great. So it's not going to run 26 episodes at 1 a week. It'll run 3 episodes each, and it's really fun to get in. Plus, you don't have to commit an hour and a half. You can watch it over the course of the week.
Right.
Which is great. I watched it over 2 days, broken up. But the cartoon gets very dark. I will spoil something in the first 3 episodes. There's a big...
Dude!
I'm not spoiling any plot. And again, this is the first 3
You just said I'm going to spoil!
Well, again, this is the first 3 episodes of 26. So I don't even know where the story's going. I know what's happening in the first few episodes.
You already told us that the king and queen get killed.
They do, but it's important to the plot. But there's a major battle with explosions and everything else.
Major battle?
And literally someone's face gets half blown off. Like,
he blew up someone's face!
Don't worry, she gets better. But literally, like, you see, like, the skull. Like, this is not a children's cartoon. And they don't warn people that this is not a children's cartoon. A friend of mine posted on Facebook that he watched it with his young daughter. And he's like, yeah, some of these scenes are a little uncomfortable to watch with her. I'm like, no.
How young is she?
I don't know. I didn't ask. I'm guessing under 10. You know.
Jeez.
But, you know, he wants to bond with his daughter over, you know, superheroes and superhero cartoons. Maybe this isn't the best one for that.
Yes.
And
I think that's Spider-Man and his amazing friends.
Oh, definitely. You know, Teen Titans Go is a lot of fun. You get a lot of the same characters, and it's a lot less violent. a lot less graphically violent.
Even just Teen Titans.
Teen Titans. Well, yeah, sort of. Young Justice was sort of the more teenage-oriented version of the Teen Titans cartoon when it first came out.
Yes.
So this is just upping the ante. Like, hey, you grew up, so did we. I think DC Universe is really pushing that adult edge, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
Like, the next series we're going to see is Doom Patrol. And that comes out in March. And they did one episode of Titans that had Doom Patrol, but now we're going to see more of them. So, like, and we're going to see Swamp Thing soon as well. So it's like DC Universe, right now I'm seeing there's nothing for kids. Like, just old reruns, like the Batman the Animated Series and things like that. And I think Super Friends is on there. I don't know. I don't know if.
Oh, no way! I'll be signing up for this next weekend because I will have the children here, and I will get to. I know they want to see Young Justice.
Yeah, so
my children are teenagers, so they can watch it.
Yeah, so here we go. So this is the app and its awful interface. See, let's just. It's kind of. It's not even scrolling right for me right now. You can see it's not even scrolling smoothly. But promoting Young Justice, dive back in Young Justice and Death of Superman. Trending, it just jumps. This is not a good experience. DC Daily. Yeah, it needs work. But if I go to the movies and TV section, maybe it'll go a little smoother.
Don't get angry.
So here we got series, Titans, Constantine. It's jumping. Fuck it. And then they have they have a lot of cartoons that have already aired on like Cartoon Network and stuff. They have their show DC Daily, which I don't know. I have no interest in watching because it's just propaganda. It's not even like it's way too rah-rah for my taste. Propaganda, yo. Yeah, it's just a little too rah-rah. It's like admit not everything's good. Like when I watch stuff from Marvel, they're just like you can downplay things that are not good, but it's just like to say everything is awesome, you're just living in the friggin' Lego movie. But
everything is awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that sequel in a couple weeks too. But what are we gonna do? So yeah, I don't recommend DC Universe like I do Marvel Unlimited. DC Universe does have some comics, but it's curated stuff, and it's not as good an experience. But but I like their original stuff so far. Titans will be a little less dark, but it is what it is. And I'm looking forward to Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol.
Swamp Thing's going to be dark.
Of course, but I mean, if you even watch the old TV show on the USA Network, that was a little dark.
It was dark.
Compared to anything else on TV at that time, it was dark. Dark TV did not exist in the early 90s.
The only Swamp Thing I remember that wasn't dark was the movie that what's his name was in with Heather Locklear. That wasn't dark.
And that was the sequel, because the first one had Adrienne Barbeau.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Adrienne Barbeau. Man, she was hot.
She was. Well, they were both hot.
I don't know.
Heather Locklear was hot too.
Yes.
Dick Durock was Swamp Thing in the original.
Hey! Watch the language. It's a family show.
Oh, now we're watching on language. That's a first. Let's see. 1982, Swamp Thing in the original was
77.
There was a 77?
I don't know. I'm just guessing.
I'm looking at IMDb. Oh, actually, this one's really good. Ray Wise was Dr. Alec Holland.
Wow.
So, for those of us who were fans of Twin Peaks, there he is. Dick Durock was Swamp Thing in that one, and it had the same arcane Louis Jordan.
And what year was the first one?
82. Heather Locklear was
84? 85?
No, that's the TV series, came out in 1990.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's not. because there was the TV series and there was the cartoon.
Yeah.
Return of Swamp Thing was 89. So it had 2 holdovers from the original. All right. So that's it for this week.
So then what year did the first one come out?
82.
With Adrian Barbeau. Oh.
I said that already. 82.
Oh, okay.
Return of Swamp Thing was 89. The TV show was 1990.
That long in between them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the cartoon, it's not even showing up the cartoon. So, what is this, miniseries? I guess this is, okay. I guess they're listing the cartoon as a miniseries in 91. I just wondered there were more than 5 episodes. I know the cartoon ran longer than that because they had a toy line and everything.
Yeah.
Oh well, it is what it is. I watched them back in the day. They were cheesy as hell and fun to watch. Okay, and on that note,
yes,
to find more Geekodrome, subscribe on Twitch. Really, you want to get us live? That's our new home. We are still streaming to YouTube for those of you who were watching there. A few of you. So subscribe on Twitch. That's really the message of the day. Otherwise, subscribe on iTunes. Get the audio podcast. We're on Stitcher.
We start getting people watching. We're going to do some bonus stuff for you guys.
We have some cool stuff planned for Twitch. So tell your friends. I'm not even going to promote every place else we are. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. You can find us there. We'll let you know when we're broadcasting there as well. Both of us are in transit with our actual careers, so our schedule is a little flux right now. It will be solidifying in the next few weeks, hopefully. So just subscribe and follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and you'll know where we are, when we are. We'll let you know. I'm on Twitter at JustJon. Don Stugots is on Twitter as at Don Stugots.
Yes.
And the Eat Up Show will be coming back soon.
Yes. I have to figure out how to use this software now.
And the other thing is we'll set up raids on our Twitch streams so that when either of us go on our private Twitch channels with the Eat Up Show or me with my Lego, it should stream through Geekodrome.
Oh, I thought you were going to do Lego on here.
I think I'm keeping it separate because there's other stuff I want to do on here. Some of that other stuff we talked about in the past.
Wow.
And I think that the Lego stuff just doesn't go with it.
Okay.
And actually, I've been practicing the Twitch streams and stuff. Right now, it's RF Just John on the Twitch. You can subscribe to me there. I built a couple of Lego Overwatch sets.
What's the RF stand for?
Nothing.
Oh.
It's just that something I was using 10 years ago. It's a legacy thing, and Just John was taken by an idle channel, so I'm going to try and steal that channel back so I can be myself. But I built a couple of Lego Overwatch sets on Twitch this week.
Overwatch is a video game, right?
It's it's a video game. And Lego on the first released their sets. So to practice with the software, I was building that. So we have Genji here. They're behind the laptop, of course. Hanzo. Tracer's ship.
Hello, Tracer's ship.
Tracer's, it's behind the laptop, so I can't really reach behind it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. That's all the stuff we'll see on RF.
That'll be my Lego stuff.
Right.
I have some other stuff I want to play with there. Maybe show off some 3D printing or something. But lots of maker stuff.
I think I can take guesses as to what the RF stands for.
If you knew me 10 years ago, you know what RF stands for.
Really frugal, Just John.
Really fapping in. All right. So, until next week, catch you later, Bill and Ted.
Catch you later, Bill and Ted. Party on.
Party on, dudes.